of the duties in us to benchmark with any other country. It is to make our country a model so that other countries can benchmark with us. And that is why I have brought forth the proposals which are objective. But if you ask the question subjectively, I also reserve the right to answer it subjectively. On numbers, the Kenya shilling 7 for RMLF.
Honorable Ndindi.
Yes.
I didn't want to disrupt you, but you are appearing before us with proposals for us to consider so that we come up with a legislation that is helpful to the economy. So I would propose that you don't display arrogance to the members' questions. Just propose these solutions, and we will. At the end of the day, this committee is supposed to, adopt resolutions which will be good for the economy. But if you begin to, talk down the members, then it means you are not expecting these members to adopt your resolutions. I think spend more time persuading members so that they'll be able to, adopt the resolutions for the sake of the economy. Please proceed.
Chairman, I'm well guided, and if you note the way I answered Honorable Kainan, it is exactly the same way he asked the question. If you replay the question of the honorable member I'm replying to, I'm replying with the exact same demeanor. So, going to the issue of RMLF of 7 shillings, and the honorable Pukose insinuated that the money has been securitized. Yes. Yes,
okay, now.
I have a lot of respect for my good friend. This House of Records, we are aware all of us are parliamentary practitioners, and the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro is an experienced legislator. When you appear before a parliamentary committee, basically which is an extension of the House, you are expected to abide by all the rules. And therefore, whereas in your appearance, in your responses, you attempt to respond to what a particular member has asked, your obligation is to the entire membership, not to that particular member. To that extent, I request you, because really everything here is unanswered. It is going to be historical. Our brother here, and times change, positions change. Kenya remains. He was our chairman. Tomorrow he may be the Minister for Finance. The other day, because his age is on his side, he may be something even bigger. We must be procedural. Procedural does not mean you are being the mean. So I expected you to say, when I ask a question as a member of Parliament for Elders and as a member of this committee, the answer belongs to the entire committee. So that bit, and I know it's not saying that, so that bit I think must be corrected so that what we get is directed at the entire membership, not to the person who has asked, so that we remain procedural. I rest my case, Chairman.
Just on a point of order. Yes, Vice Chairman.
Chair, I'm not satisfied with the response about my question, because there is what we call evidence-based. And the reason why I was asking is that this is a global phenomenon. From my point of view, even as a medical doctor, we've had outbreaks of Ebola, you've had outbreaks the other day of Corona, yeah? And we borrow evidence from other areas on what they are doing. They are doing immunization. So this is a global phenomenon. And I would expect it, fine, you're an economist, I'm a medical doctor. I would have expected this has not happened anywhere. These are my original proposals, and that would be satisfied that it has not been done in any other country. I would be satisfied with that answer. Yeah? But because once you know we must be able to respect each other's professions. I cannot, if it's an economic question, I'll ask you. If it's a medical question, I'm the expert on that. I'll be able to advise you. So I was asking, just as a layman, where has this happened? These proposals you are coming up with. They look brilliant, but where are they coming from? Are they your original, or you've copied them from somewhere else? That's the question.
Thank you. So, Honorable Ndindi, I think the point raised by the Honorable Kenani is valid, that you are responding to the committee. The questions are not for the individual members who asked them. So please desist from responding in a manner like you are trying to, to respond to the questioner. Let us your feedback be for the benefit of the entire sitting and the entire committee. Thank you. You can proceed.
Thank you, Chair, and I'm well guided. It was just the atmosphere that was there before, and I'll try as much as possible to be objective. But I also request you that even in the asking of the questions, we also be objective. Honorable Vice Chair, these are my original proposals, but there are other countries that have done something about oil prices. Many of them, I just highlight a few. A country like Zambia, they have done something around VAT, and others. However, I have only read that qualitatively. The reasoning for this, Honorable Pukose and Chair, is that the proposals, where you may need some evidence-based, it is a place where you may not be able to quantify. Now, my proposals are quantifiable because it's only purely about money. It is either money, forfeiting money, or spending money. And that is the reasoning, members, that I didn't find it fit to borrow these proposals from any other country. Maybe piecemeal, but not holistic. Yes, they are my original ideas. On the 7 shillings, honorable members, we have been talking about this issue of securitization, even when I was chair of this, not chair, almost member, but when I was a member. Because this issue of securitization, the first talk about it was in the year 2025, around when the changes in this committee were happening. And I can confirm, as the other members who were here before, that there was no securitization in that tenure. Now, Honorable Chair, the reason why I have put in the 7 shillings, it is because, as far as I'm concerned as a member of parliament, there is no securitization that has happened. Point being, I have asked for these details myself in terms of documents. And as we all say, parliament is a house of records. I have done that as a member of parliament to seek for the details of securitization. I would actually request, if this committee has any document on securitization, they actually share with Kenyans. However, I have gone further because I knew this may come up. I have actually also written to the clerk of the National Assembly in terms of reducing excise tax and duty by Kenya shilling 7. So if there is a handicap in terms of these 7 shillings, there is a fallback position.
Yes, Ndindi, you have been doing very well. Since you came, I think you've been. But now, to the extent that you are suggesting that that securitization does not exist, I think you have moved from a factual appearance before us to a political side. You are sliding to the political side where now you want to start doing politics. I want to persuade you that you continue the same stretch you started, where you are focusing on the facts and the details of how we can help the oil crisis. If you suggest that there has been no securitization in the country, you know that is politics, my friend. So I think, please come back to the stretch for presentation you have been doing, where you have been giving us facts on how we can resolve this crisis. Please come back.
Honorable Chair, the fact I'm raising is actually important. If, for example, today I purport that the country has allocated 1 trillion Kenya shillings to the education sector, I'll come to the budget and pull the allocation. Honorable Chair, with all due respect, the issue of securitization, I have done so. So I'm not even purporting. I have asked Parliament to give me any document there is about securitization. However, even if we are to jump that bump, the RMLF is 25 shillings. I'm proposing for a cut of 7. Assuming we'll get the documents of securitization, there is still 18 shillings remaining in the RMLF. So that's one arena. The other arena, which I have actually done so by writing to the clerk, is that we can also explore excise duty. So that if RMLF has been hedged somewhere or used as collateral, then there is a fallback in terms of excise. There was the issue of Honorable Chair of the Kenya shillings 10. And to use your words, because Chair, allow me also, because talking is just not listening, is also feeling. The Chair said, and actually to use his words, don't you understand that the Kenya shillings 10 that was talked about in Nairobi, there is an extra 10 shillings that was talked about in Mombasa? Honorable Chair, Honorable Pukose, through the question you asked, I understand fully and completely. Subsidies are given monthly. That is why money is provisioned in the monthly basis. So when I start and say today that the diesel prices will be lower by 10 shillings next month, the base is always before the subsidy. And that is why I say that it was not clear whether it was additional.